Uh, and we are live again. I have been looking at the streams. I've been playing back some of those streams, and I have seen like the camera is literally fucked up at times initially in the streams. So
No,
I've
hang on,
seen,
hang
I've
on,
seen,
no, hang on, Tish.
yeah.
It's not the camera's fucked up. It's me after all my beers. It's me getting fucked up. It is.
No, but not with respect to that. I was saying with respect to I have seen the picture quality that is coming through my streams initially, and then it gets better. I don't still understand what is the reason. Let me try this out. Okay, hopefully that does the trick. But anyways, we are back again with another show, and we have some updates. Before we get into it, I just want to say one thing, that Fred, no one has passed away recently. I mean, apart from my grandmother who passed away due to COVID, but nothing happened now. So don't worry about it. And the next thing that I just wanted to add with
Sorry,
respect to that is, I hope you're doing
Natesh,
fine. Yeah.
Natesh, my bad. Are you serious about your grandmother?
Yeah, I'm serious about it.
Oh, sorry, man. Fucking hell. I thought you were joking, man. I thought you were joking. Fucking hell.
No, no, I'm not joking.
My sincere bloody apologies to you and your family. I thought you were taking a piss of Fred.
No, it happened like around, I think, in the third
Okay,
month of
man.
lockdown. Anyways, so what I was saying is this video is specially sponsored because we're going to talk about such things. It's sponsored by Ozil's dead career, and we have an update. We have an update coming up from Adam. Before that, I'll just say big up to everyone in the chat. Big up Fred, big up Miss Melina, and big up John. Yes, Adam. Can you also give a shout out to your channel and also give the update at the same time?
Yeah, definitely. It's Football with Brownie, both on Facebook. Now we are about 10 away from 1,500 likes on Facebook. So please, if you're on Facebook, get on there, like, and the content is just general football, past and present, and everyone enjoys the photos and so on. So get on there, and also Football with Brownie on the YouTube channel. We bloody need more subscribers. I'm working my fucking backside off for you lot. So fucking subscribe and share the channel. But anyway, going back to it. Yeah, breaking news. I actually heard about it, and I heard about 1 o'clock last night or 1 o'clock this morning. And I was talking to Sam about it. Basically, Gareth Bale has gone to Tottenham on loan for the season. Now, the news was it was going to be Man United, but Jose Mourinho Jose Mourinho came out on Spanish TV just before midnight last night and said he announced that he tried to sign Gareth Bale when he was Real Madrid manager, but Tottenham wouldn't release him at the time. He then tried to sign him again as Manchester United manager, but he couldn't. They couldn't agree terms. But finally, he's landed his man as Tottenham manager, and I think we're late basically because I've just had to do a breaking news stream, so people get on there after this show. But I follow Gareth Bale as a fellow Welshman and a Whitchurch High School person as well. I follow Gareth Bale ever since he was actually a left back at Southampton and Wales. That's how long ago we're talking. And I've enjoyed watching his career. But the last couple of years, I think he has been ill-managed by his agent and or agency that represents him. And I don't want him to be remembered as basically his below par performances for Real Madrid and Wales, and the guy who was highly paid player and just taking a piss off his employers. I don't want him to be remembered as that. So I hope Gareth, his wife Emma and his children enjoy the experience of this lonely spell. If he enjoys it and plays well, he'll stick 2 fingers up to Zidane. And rightly so, because I think I follow Real Madrid over here quite a lot. But I think Zidane should have maintained his professional conduct and kept his criticisms of Bale in a dressing room and not in press conferences. I think that was the wrong move and quite a disgusting move, if I'm honest with you. So I hope that they enjoy. Gareth falls back in love with football. The family enjoy the loan spell, and you never know. After this loan spell, Vincent Tan, the Cardiff City fucking chairman, could open his checkbook, and Gareth Bale could finally come back to his hometown club, Cardiff City. Come on!
Brownie, I'll advise you not to have too much of what you're having. It's getting to you now. But we have Khan in the chat. We have Khan in the backstage, and I will just add him. Big up to you, Khan, as well. Just a second. Yes, let me change
Nisha, I
that
only have
stupid.
like 10-15
Super.
minutes today, but I will
Sure.
do a stream on Friday night if you want to. We can do the game week predictions.
I am doing this same stream like the pandemic episodes every day. So I'm doing one episode every day. So we can do that, and around that we can also do the prediction. No worries.
Yeah,
We can do.
that would be
Yeah.
on Friday then, if you want.
Sure, no worries. I'm doing it every day, so I am free at this time. And one more thing, what is your take on Gareth Bale coming to Spurs, coming back to Spurs?
I don't really know, to be honest.
Who do you support, Khan?
I support Man City.
Okay, who's your favourite City player? I remember going to Man City when at the old main road, and I loved it because my dad is a Man City fan, actually.
I'd probably say Riyad Mahrez or Kevin De Bruyne right now.
Okay, yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't understand why Pep doesn't play Mahrez. I don't understand it.
I mean, we got Rodri, we got Phil Foden. We've got a good team, but then still defensively, we're not that good at the back.
Do you think it was a big mistake from Pep and Man City to let Jadon Sancho go to Dortmund and not play him?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but we still have some good players. I think we'll.
Yeah, no, I know that.
We'll probably finish second or win the league. I don't really know, man. We still need Koulibaly to improve our defense.
I think Koulibaly's overrated, if I'm honest with you, because he's playing within a slower league. But here's another question if you can.
I think one team that will do good this season is Arsenal. I mean,
I think Everton will. I think Everton will. I
think Arsenal will finish 5th.
Well, I think Everton will have a good season. I'm from an era where I've seen Everton win.
I am wondering. Khan said Arsenal will finish 5th. Is that actually good or not? With the way we are playing, we should be finishing in the top 4 at least. We should be, but
I tell you, there's a question for Khan.
Yes,
Khan, do you think Phil Foden is looking at Jadon Sancho and thinking, I should have got out of Man City at the same time as Jadon Sancho and proved myself to the world?
Yeah, I mean,
because I know he's starting a few games now, but he really could have had a full season elsewhere, couldn't he? Like Sancho did and proved it.
Yeah, I mean, what we're missing is like a good centre back who can actually defend at the back. I mean, it was a big mistake not to replace Company. We've got Laporte, but I mean, still. Yeah. We need a centre back who is fast, can have aggression, and can actually defend well.
Yeah. You bought Ake now. Let's see.
Yeah, we bought Ferran Torres as well. We're still looking for Koulibaly. I don't know if we're going to get him, but yeah, we're still in the market. So yeah, you don't know because the market is not over yet.
No.
And that is what Brownie needs to remember too.
I knew this was coming. That's why I was looking away. That's why I was looking away, Natesh.
But let me quickly go through the comments. Miss Melina saying, Brownie, for fuck's sakes, what were you doing yesterday? You and Sankalp were going on when she had her Zoom class. And big up to John. It's Wednesday. You know what that means? What's ABLTN? I don't know.
I've left that fucking WhatsApp group, I tell you. Fucking bing, bing, bing all the fucking time. It's driving me nuts.
You are the one involved in most of the chats as it is. But Melina is saying, Brownie, when are you going to support a real football club? She's just kidding. But yes.
No comment.
Sam is saying the Spurs doctor will have his hands full. And apart from that, big up to John, big up to Sam, big up to Miss Melina. And Melina is saying large up to yourselves in the panel tonight. And always Brownies transfer speculations are more importantly someone
It's
coming
fucking confirmed. It's fucking confirmed. Jesus Christ.
uh, and Sam is calling John the Gibraltar gangster. And Cheddar's in the chat, big up to you as well. The way he plays for Wales, I don't see him struggling in the Premier League. Good move by Spurs, in my opinion. He's talking about.
Can I just mention as well?
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna enjoy tonight's show because my parents aren't staying with me. So fuck the world tonight. I'm telling you, fuck the world. I got a fridge full of beer and I'm gonna get pissed.
and who's coming over, Brownie? That is the main thing. Who's coming over? You must have
I'll
plans.
decide after the show.
Okay, big up to that as well. And Sam is saying Cardiff couldn't buy a fucking shag in a sex shop. That is for you.
Wow.
And Cheddar's is
No
good.
comment.
Melina is good. And yes, she's asking you how many points do you have in the FPL this game week? How many points?
You know what? I'm already fucking bored of it, if I'm honest with you. We've only played one fucking week. You know, I hate fantasy football. It's a load of bollocks. People think they fucking Kenny Dalglish or the fucking Terry Venables of this year. Fuck off on your fantasy shit. It's a shit fucking thought out fucking game. I hate it.
You wouldn't be saying this if you were topping, probably.
But absolutely fucking not. I wouldn't be saying it, but never mind. Fuck it.
Cheddars is saying Hudson-Odoi is probably regretting not joining Bayern, and Sam is saying Hudson-Odoi is it for the money, not for the heart or drive. And Cheddars again rating him highly, and he could have done a Sancho as well, Hudson-Odoi. And big up to Taib in the house as well. And Cheddars. Adam, let the viewers decide which hooker and which ST. I think it's STD that you get.
Well, hang on. Hey, you know this, Natasha. You know this.
Yeah.
Because I did run this idea through you. Now, people know my football, know my YouTube channel, Football with Brownie.
Yeah.
But I love, and Sam knows that, I love the late night conversations and the late night videos. But with my channel being called Football with Brownie, I can't really, I can't really go much outside football. So I may do a second channel called Brownie Talks Bollocks.
My first reaction to that was, are you making a statement or a channel name?
Oh, it's fucking both. And then I'll start live streams after fucking 20 cans of beer, and we'll see what happens.
Brownie, I'll just say one thing: you don't need the beer to run that channel. Yes, Khan, go ahead.
Can we do a predict 11 for Arsenal against West Ham?
Right now or tomorrow?
Friday.
Oh, yeah, sure. We can. Friday, we can. Definitely, why not? I don't see a reason why not. Because anyways, the game is coming. And I think Simpy will also be doing an FPL show on, I think tomorrow. Is it tomorrow or day after? I need to check that as well. So we can plan everything around it and we can definitely do it. Are you on Twitter, Khan?
No, I just have Instagram.
Sure. Send. So then you can follow me on Beyond the Posts on Instagram and just drop me a text. We'll plan it out.
All right.
Are you banned from Twitter as well, Khan, like me?
No, he's not banned. Brownie got banned twice. He got
Free football with Brownie. Free football with Brownie. Brownie deserves justice.
Brownie is stupid.
No, I think someone came to his house. I think he was too loud. But yes, big up to everyone in the chat as well. So, Khan, any more comments about Manchester City? Do you think you're gonna? Okay, that's his fridge. That's not his door. My bad. Are you? Do you think that Manchester City will win the league this time, or do you think it's just gonna be like another season for them, like the last one?
Another question again. If we sign Koulibaly,
yeah,
I think we have a chance to win it. I mean, let's look at the players we got. We got good players in there. For example, Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, Kevin De Bruyne, Sterling, They're all top quality players, and what we're kind of missing is just a centre back and possibly another striker. Because when Aguero does leave, we still need a replacement for him. So I think a good replacement for Aguero could be like, what's the striker called from Inter Milan?
Martinez.
Yeah, Lorenzo Martinez. I think that can be a replacement for Aguero. I mean, the reason why I don't
I'm
really
hearing he's going to Barcelona.
he can't finish like Aguero does. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
He can't finish like Aguero does on the pitch. So we're still missing a striker and a centre back. But I think if we don't have a defender, I think we're gonna finish second.
For a second, I read it as Gareth Bale is on his knees, but he said knee problems. So that had a totally different.
Yeah, if I can come back to that Martinez shout,
Yep.
I heard he's going to Barcelona. The problem, La Liga has actually put a rule in for this season, which is why Real Madrid and Barcelona haven't been signing a lot of players, which is La Liga has put a rule in, but you have to sell a player to buy one in, to bring one in. And hence the reason why Real Madrid have now got rid of that left back to Tottenham, and now Bale to Tottenham. That frees up 2 places. But yeah, regarding Barcelona, hence the reason why they're trying to fucking throw everyone on a hooker's bloody walkway, just to get rid of them to bring people in. But that's an interesting ruling, anyway. You got to sell a player to bring one in.
Fortunately, Brownie cut that short for once, and big up to Sam who's here. I thought I would have to wait like 5 minutes before I could introduce you to the panel. And what's with Gareth Bale's knee problems? Any update there? Something that we don't?
I just look at his injury history, and he's just got knee problems all the time. The guy's been injured 150 days in total or something like that. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
This guy's cropped. The guy's cropped. You know, he's got obviously.
No, I fully understand that. I fully understand. Unfortunately, get older in nowadays, bodies break down earlier because of the demand on the bodies. I fully understand that. But I think even financially for Tottenham, this could be a great financial move for Tottenham. You know, everything, all the money he could bring off the field.
Yeah, of course he's going to sell shirts, and fans are going to sing his name, and he's going to be, you know, he's a well-known player in the world of football, isn't he? But I mean, how many games is he going to play? That's the thing, because the guy plays a few games and he gets injured.
Yeah. Yep. No. I mean, his game has always been on pace. And if your game is always on pace, that means later on in your career, your knees are going to give up.
Yeah, it's his knees and his abductors and his ankles. He's got, like, you see his injury history, his knee, abductor, and ankle all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. That sounded like Brownie trying to kidnap someone. On her knees, abducting someone.
Bloody hell.
But what I wanted to say is, one thing with respect to Bale is, I think Real Madrid is trying to get rid of him. Spurs is just trying to reinforce their squad. They're trying to get anyone. Do you guys, let's go to the traditional question. Do you think it is a panic buy for Spurs?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Man United.
It's got panic all over it.
Hey, but Sam, who broke the news to you last night about this at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, it was already in the news, mate. It was already in the news. It's been all over the news.
It was in the news over here, you fucking bastard. You know damn
well.
No,
it's been in the news everywhere, Gareth Bale going to Tottenham.
Not at 1 o'clock last night, it wouldn't.
It'd already been out last night in the news, hasn't it? It wasn't confirmed. Bullshit. It wasn't confirmed. But
you're winding me up now. You're winding me up. Knowing damn well I've had 4 beers.
Do you want me to find you stories from yesterday for Gareth Bale?
No, I can't be asked, to be honest. I'm not in that WhatsApp group.
I want to ask one thing. So, Adam, if it was on the news in Spain, how does it matter whether it was on the news there or whether it was on the news somewhere else? It was already on the news.
I'm just a deluded fucking in the know. So don't worry, that's all.
What do you think? Spain is the only country in the world that has football news? Then
No, I'm just fuck it. I'm just fucking having a few beers and enjoying life.
yeah. Listen,
my parents aren't here tonight, so let me just
I'm just saying.
I'll finish off this show, bring in the Russian hookers, have a fucking party, and I'll check you all on my channel as well.
Yes, do a bit of Russian roulette. Fuck them all without a condom.
He had a mask yesterday, and he'll have the different cap on today, and Shannon's back as well. But so let's get into that discussion. Why do you think Bale is a panic buy? Because Sam was saying panic buy. So why is Bale a panic buy, Sam?
Well, first of all, he's hardly played any football for a long time, right? So you have no real idea of what he's gonna bring to your team, other than of course, he's gonna be good for the club in terms of financial value, yes. But on the field, what's he gonna bring? Second of all, I think it's a matter of Levy and Mourinho sort of appeasing the fans because they haven't been able to bring in anyone basically, have they? I mean, all they managed to bring in is fucking Doherty and Højbjerg. And, so Gareth Bale is sort of a big name they can bring in on the cheap because that's what he is. They have to pay 40% of his wages, but it's only a loan. And, it's just a big name they can bring in on a good deal. But the thing is, how many games is he going to play? What's he going to bring to the team? Son plays out on the left and does a very good job. Where's Son going to go then? I mean, is Son going to go to the right then? Or
can I come in on that, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, right. Bale has been fit. Was fit for most of last season, but it's well publicised. Zidane didn't want him around. In my opinion, I know Bale has been advised very poorly by the agency who represents him, not just the mouthy agent, but the whole agency. I think he's been badly advised, and because the majority of last season he was fit to play, but he was never called upon. When he was called upon, he never grabbed the opportunity with both hands, and he played shit. I'd be completely honest with you. As a Welshman, I recently watched the Wales games, and Bale was fucking awful. Bale was awful, and the reason was because he wasn't match fit. Now, this is a great move for Wales, come the Euros at the end of the season. Great move. He can get back match fit. With regarding where he will play, if you guys remember, when he left Tottenham, which was the first time Mourinho tried to sign him, because Mourinho came out last night and stated that he tried to sign him when he was Real Madrid manager. He then tried to sign when he was Man United manager, and now he's finally got his man. But when Mourinho first tried to sign Bale was playing as behind the front men, as the free flowing, like number 10, bloody going. Do you know what I mean? He only started playing on the right hand side when
he played on the left.
He played on the right. He played on the right. He only started.
He played on both sides.
Yeah, he played on both sides, but mainly on the right for Real Madrid. But however, he only started playing on the right for Real Madrid, and Ancelotti had come out and saying this because basically Ancelotti did not want Bale, but Bale was, a Galactico by the time he signed. And Ancelotti had to fit Bale in somewhere. And that's the only reason why Bale started playing on the right-hand side. Will Mourinho give him a free role like he was at Tottenham last time? That could be interesting. And that could be the reason why he preferred to go to Spurs rather than Man United.
See, the problem with that was Cristiano Ronaldo being on the left. How will Bale replace Cristiano Ronaldo in the team? And Benzema being the striker. Unless Cristiano Ronaldo played as the lone forward, that would have been a different story. But he was not. Yeah. So I don't see that could be the only reason. and but eventually, yes. So he did fit in. He got that brilliant goals in the Champions League final and against
He
Barca,
was
if you
great.
remember.
There was a time he was great for Real Madrid. He was playing really good, wasn't he? And
Oh,
then all of a sudden,
absolutely. Yeah.
then all of a sudden it all just stopped, didn't it?
Well, when he done that overhead kick, I mean, I
Yeah,
can see why Florentino Perez was panicking. When he done that overhead kick in the Champions League final against Liverpool, but Ronaldo and Bale's contract were coming up. Was just months away to the end on both, or maybe going into a final year,
Yeah.
and that because Bale was younger than Ronaldo, that is why Bale had a bumper contract and he let Ronaldo go to Juventus because they had Ronaldo's wages to play with then, and that's why Bale had a bumper contract. And Ronaldo and Florentino Perez, in fact, Ronaldo didn't even join the celebrations of winning that European Cup, and the players told him to fuck off. Like Sergio Ramos and Modric and so on told him to fuck off, go to the fucking changing room because of what he said in an interview straight after the game.
But you can also see he's had huge attitude problems as well. So, do you think going to Tottenham he's going to have a better attitude then, or?
I think so. I think he'd be better as a fellow Welshman, right? And I'm very, I always get abused when I say this, but I think what he done with that Welsh flag, Wales, Golf, Madrid, I think is totally disrespectful, and I think it's disgusting. And Real Madrid are his employers. Do not disrespect your employer. And the club have fucking binned him ever since. I thought it was absolutely disrespectful what he done, man.
I think he just said it openly. A lot of people have those priorities. Doesn't Ozil? Don't other players have priorities? But they don't say it openly that much. Otherwise, Ozil will lose all his Instagram followers and Twitter followers if he says that. Like Turkey, Fortnite, Arsenal. If he says that,
Turkey Fortnite, Arsenal, yeah.
If he comes out and says that, it will be the end of his influencer career as well, and all his deals. As it is, he must have few of them left. Very few of them left.
But okay, on the Tottenham side, they're not paying out. They could well be paying out a small loan fee, but they're not paying out any fee because it's a loan. They're not paying the whole of his wages. I think 60% they're paying.
I think it's 40%.
Was it 40? I thought Real Madrid would be paying 40. That's hold my hands up there. So okay, they're paying 40%. I mean,
which is still like 200 and something odd grand.
Yeah.
Right, but over a season, it's financially beneficial for Tottenham in a big way.
How is it financially beneficial for Spurs?
Well, if you think of it, if they've only got to pay 40% of his wages until the end of the season, what's that, 12 million or something, 10, 12 million maybe?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah? Just think how much money he would bring into Tottenham just for being there. It would be far more than 12 million. It probably could multiply by
200 and something a month, 200 something times 12, that's what, 2.4. Still 3 million or something about that, isn't it, roughly? But
even not just shirt sales, but even the additional interest from TV companies now from around the world. I'm telling you, Daniel Levy has been typical Daniel Levy on this deal, and it's been it's a great deal for the club.
I'll tell you one thing honestly, Adam. Apart from the Chinese, Spurs don't have too many fans across the globe, and with the Premier League deal, failing, not too many.
Gareth Bale, because of his Real Madrid career, does. That's why I'm telling you. I'm not talking about Wales. I'm not talking about Wales.
I agree with there must be fans in Wales, but I'm talking about the main Spurs fandom is from China, and now with those Premier League deal falling apart with China, so that is a problem for them as well. So I don't know how it
You're
will.
right. It's about 12. It's about 12 million a year. Yeah, you're right. It's about 12 million pounds a year, roughly. But yeah, I mean that's not a lot when compared to what his market value used to be. I don't think his market value is that much now at the moment. According to Transfermarkt, which everyone seems to use, it's about 30 million euros at the moment. It's
But I
dropped a
think
lot.
he has that release clause in his contract. He has the release clause in his contract. That is the problem.
Yeah, that is a problem for him. But anyway, listen. I mean, if they get something out of it, if they get something out of it, if they get something out of him, then okay, they get something out of him. It just on the face of it, it just looks like it's a desperate buy to get a name in. You know, Tottenham just want to get a name in. He is an ex-Tottenham player, right? So you know, it's there's that part of it as well, and the Mourinho connection, like you say, and it's just a chance for Tottenham to bring a name in, appease the fans because the fans are pissed off that they're at the new stadium and they're supposed to be going forward as a club, and they don't have any money. You know, they're skint, and the only players they've been getting in is Doherty and Højbjerg. You know, they're supposed to be challenging for the Champions League. So I think it's a desperate buy to get in, and the chances of him performing are I don't know. They look slim to me, but he might do it. He might come on and perform. I see. He might do it.
You know another thing as well. And I know this. Because he's a Whitchurch High boy, and I know loads of people went to Whitchurch High. I know his parents. I haven't seen him for years, but what many people have come back to me and said, this is both in the Welsh headquarters and guys from Whitchurch, his old school friends. A lot of them have come back and said last 2 years he's actually fallen out of love with football. And that's why he started acting like that. If he can fall back in love with the game, and if Mourinho can put his arm around his shoulder and say, look, you're coming into the last few years of your career, make the most of it. I don't know. Something tells me it could well backfire on Zidane.
I just thought, why I laughed? I just thought that Mourinho will put one arm on Bale's neck and say, you're coming towards the last few years of your career, and Bale will put his arm and say, you too. And because both of them are struggling at their jobs. But yes,
I tell you what, I watched Spanish TV last night, and they for I don't know 5 minutes thing, they were doing clips of whenever Mourinho and Bale encountered each other, both in the changing room and on the pitch over the years. While Mourinho was Real Madrid and he was Tottenham, blah, blah, blah. And you know what?
Yeah.
For those clips, you can see there's a chemistry between them both. I'm telling you now, Nitesh. I'm telling you now. You can see
secret lovers. Lovers.
But the respect for both people.
Well, of course, Mourinho. You see, Mourinho does that with many players. Mourinho likes a good player. And he rates. But I think he rates Bale. He rates Bale as a good player. And I think it's that type of respect and he shows him because he rates Bale as a good player, I think,
And Cheddars, I've just seen you comment in the comment thing. And yes, you are right. Whitchurch High School does have a power league there. I tried to play there, but I was fucked at the time. I was hitting fucking 40 by the time I started playing on mine. I lasted 2 minutes.
And I put that link as well there, which is Spurs is not the most supported club in the US. According to that, it is Manchester United. Anyways, so moving on, Spurs is like at number 6 or 5 or 6. Anyways, so moving on, let's forget about Bale. Let's get into the topic, which I don't know what is your reaction going to be. Oh, as soon as I said topic, Brownie switched his camera.
No. Am I back?
I'm just kidding. Yes, you are back.
No. I've taken my headphones off. I need to fucking check my phone on charge. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can. So the question was, because I know that it is not the most talked about topic, but I've seen a lot of people are changing their reactions to a lot of other people. You have seen this, like based on many of the different factors that are involved. So just wanted to ask you, since you are also regularly on Twitter, have you seen that a lot of people change their attitude towards people and celebrities, especially when at a point of time maybe they pass away or a tragedy happens, and everyone is like, they may be abusing them before that, but they are like, oh, how it's very sad to see this happen to this guy. Like the best example there was Michael Jackson. Everyone was calling him a pedophile. Everyone was abusing him while he was alive. As soon as he passed away, he was the most searched person on Google. The most searched person on entire Google. Even Google crashed that day. It was a record. So have you
Well,
seen?
of course, he's one of the most highly profile people in the world, wasn't it? And the way he passed away so, unexpectedly and tragically, the way he did, of course, it would generate a lot of interest, wouldn't it? Around the world. That to me, that makes perfect sense. There's nothing unusual with anything you say there. And I don't think I really understand your premise, because I think it's normal for people to.
It's a bad example to use, if I'm honest with you.
Well, I don't understand your premise, because I think it's normal for people to show respect and show some kind of empathy when someone dies. I mean, when you're alive and people take the piss out of you and tell you what they think out of you when you're alive, but I think you've got to be a pretty special kind of arsehole to do that when you're dead, right? I mean, especially if you've just died. It takes a special kind of arsehole to say, oh, fucking glad you're dead or whatever. I mean, I don't think that happens very often.
Well, hang on. You haven't met my fucking ex-wife, Sam. But never.
Yeah.
Right?
But you know what I'm talking about. This is, people show empathy, and I think it's just customary. It's just customary if someone passes, especially a celebrity, it's customary for them to say, oh, condolences, or like, oh, that's a shame, or whatever, I think it's just, I don't really get your premise. I don't see what this has to do with the pandemic, to be honest. I don't really get.
That's what I said. I said, well, fucking pandemic, fucking.
I think this is one of Letitia's wacky backy ideas. I think he's been having some wacky backy, and
Since lockdown has started here in India, around, you can say, maybe around 15 or 20 celebrities have passed away, including some prominent actors as well. And some of them have been passed away because of COVID, and some of them haven't because of COVID. But what happens is,
fucking dodgy doctors fucking signing on death certificates. That's what it is.
Not exactly. But what my point was, that what I could see, I was just trying to ask you guys, like, when you see someone actually change their attitude, like if say, suppose someone will be abusing a celebrity, say for example, or a footballer, right, throughout their life. This guy is shit, this guy is crap, I hate him. And then suddenly, unfortunately, if that person is in an accident or a tragedy happens, suddenly he will be all roses, bed of roses on Twitter.
But I think that's human, though, isn't it? I think that's human. People react that way out of empathy for others. If you die, if you die, people are not going to say, "Oh, fuck you, you idiot." I mean, it's
To be honest, as well, sorry for butting in with Sam, but to be honest, I think the media play a big game in this. The media can perceive someone as a bad person or a person with a bad attitude, which then gives people the mindset that that person is bad. And then, unfortunately, as we've recently seen in the UK with celebrities, when you actually, go deeper into stories, which you can see the media haven't just one-sided and haven't given a balanced view of stories, and it's given people the wrong kind of knowledge of someone who couldn't handle the pressure of having a bad image, and they take their own lives. And I think it's really,
that's the way the media is, isn't it? Unfortunately, unfortunately the media love to bring down celebrities, don't they? It's.
I can't remember her name, to be honest, but I'm talking. I can't remember her name.
They did it to Caroline Flack.
That's right, Caroline Flack. Well, thanks, Cheddars.
Yep.
Yeah, some people have been treated badly, of course, but
Yeah.
in general, people do. If you die, people will show some kind of empathy.
Yeah, I don't. You know
Have
what? You know what?
good.
With my views on football,
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be able. I don't think the likes of Lee Gunner and Sunny TV would fucking show me any empathy. But never mind. We'll continue later.
I,
I knew
I,
this
I
would take
saw
for
your,
a fucking laugh on
I
that
saw
one.
I saw your sneaky comment there. Even though you have treated me not well, but I am, I am wishing you all the very best for your future.
Yeah. Wishing you all the best. And then what I was going to say, wishing you all the best, you cunt. But I thought, no, I better not. I'll fucking delete that part.
No, the reason I was asking you because I've seen a lot of people behave in a different way. Like, so I sometimes wonder why were you abusing the person if you then want to show empathy the next moment? I mean, like,
Because again, it's
respect.
human custom.
Respectful.
It's human custom. How can you explain it? I think it's the way we humans are. It's our custom, right? So the way we learn to show respect when you're supposed to show respect, right? If someone's alive and you're on social media, you see what the cesspool social media is, like Twitter and all of it. Really, it's just people just telling people to fuck off or whatever. You're just having a go at each other, but at the moment someone dies, right? That's a different thing, isn't it? Then all of a sudden, it's more customary to show empathy and like, oh, okay, well, sorry about that. Rest in peace.
But you know what? And by fucking Natish bringing that up, I think it just it made me think of a different viewpoint, Sam. Because social media, is the present now. So, example, if you have an issue with somebody, and that person, that's been a long-term issue, and that person, passes away, are you publicly stating on social media, you very condolences and so on, simply because other people are going to be reading it?
yeah,
of
public
course they
image.
do.
That is what
Of
I was
course,
saying.
that's part of it as well. Of course, that's part of it as well.
So basically, you in your mind, you're saying, I'm fucking glad you bloody 6 foot under, you bastard. But I better not fucking.
But that's human. But that's human. We do that. We do that in real life as well. If you go to a funeral, you go to a funeral of someone you didn't like, you're invited to their funeral or whatever. You're not standing there saying, oh, I wish this person was still alive, or we're the same. We're the same. Outside of social media as we are on when it comes to we don't say what we think is in our heads, but what we actually do more on social media when people are alive, and that's what's so bad about social media, is we use social media to say what we want because we think we're untouchable, right? Because it's on social media, we're not saying it face to face. We can say what we want, and that's the problem with social media, isn't it? That's where all the abuse and everything comes from.
You don't know what the fuck I'm thinking about you in my fucking head, you bastards.
Well, it's the thing is people. It's so easy to abuse everyone on social media because you're doing it behind an avatar, aren't you? You're doing it behind a profile. You're not doing it face to face, right? I mean,
well, I'm not commenting on this. It's going too far.
No, but it's true. It's true because you're the same. You're the same. You go around abusing people when you want to.
Yeah, no, it is human act. Yeah, you're right. You are right.
Brownie, if you say too much, the Spanish mafia will come and get you.
the Cardiff mafia.
Just reading a quick comment by Cheddars. Just a minute. He said my best friend died this year. He was in the same mortuary as Caroline Fleck. I saw her family. It was wow, heartbreaking. Big condolences to you as well, Cheddars. And I think I did see something like that on Twitter from your profile. So I hope you find peace and you are happy. Like eventually everything you move on from it. And big up to you as well for sharing that.
It's always tough losing a friend.
Yep, I think that is the problem. Like a lot of things are messed up in this pandemic, and hopefully the small things bring us more joy over the big ones. Because right now, many of the big things are not possible. It's not possible to access some of the big stuff, but at least the
Yeah,
small things mean a lot more. I think this is
I
what the
miss
pandemic has done.
I miss big tits.
Move
Brownie
to
gets
fucking Spain then, Sam. Move to Spain.
Brownie keeps getting those. Brownie doesn't miss them. When I said small, I didn't mean with respect to tits, but Brownie can probably relate to the penis comment there.
Oh, fucking hell. Hey.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
What? Hang on. What fucking video? Hey, I hope you haven't been sharing my fucking videos, Sam. I hope you haven't been sharing my videos.
I wouldn't share that video with my worst fucking enemy.
I would see that video with my eyes closed.
Hey, fucking people could be watching. Fucking no. I've had enough fucking shit with them videos as it is.
Well, why do you keep bringing it up again, you fucking retard?
Because the thing is,
Yeah.
I fucking watched all the fucking library on you fucking RedTube and shit like that. And sometimes I just want to think, let's just see what happened last year.
so you actually uploaded to RedTube. That is what you're saying.
No. Fuck off. I'd be fucking killed, man. I'd be fucking killed. Nah.
Jesus Christ.
I know her connections.
Jesus Christ. Oh God.
Yeah. So the other thing now is, I think overall football is back. Like, it's still going on. Do you guys think at any point of time football will be halted again with the situation that is going on, especially with the Premier League? Will it be halted? Do you guys feel, or do you think it will just go on without any stoppage?
I think they're going to keep going now, and they're going to start bringing fans back too. They're going to start bringing fans back.
I think a European winter is going to be very interesting as a football fan, because I'm convinced that it has a connection. The lower rates have connection with the weather, like any other flu. As Europe gets colder during the winter, I think it'll be interesting to see how the authorities, the football authorities and governments actually play it.
Yeah, they have.
Well, it's all to do with how many new infections there are and everything like that. But listen, what no one's saying at the moment, because the one big, let's say, entity that's making money out of this is the media. It's the media that are making money out of it through all their clickbaiting, all their clicks online, all their articles about it, all their scare and fear mongering. It's the media that are making this into what it is, and it's creating a fear frenzy that everyone is affected by. Because I mean, the media are just, what you don't see in the media is that the fact of the matter is now is that yes, we are getting a new small resurgence of the spread of the virus, because that's natural when people start going back to normal and people start gathering again. You are going to get a small resurgence in you are going to get a small spike again, or a small second wave in the spread. But the virus now is not as strong as it used to be. It's not as strong as it used to be. So you look now at the hospitalization rates compared to, the people who get infected. There's hardly any now. There's hardly any hospitalizations now compared to how many
two shows.
How many people get infected compared to how many people actually have to go to hospital. It's next to nothing. And this is what the media won't tell you. They just focus on, today around Europe we had 10,000 new infections. Okay, but how many of them need to go to hospital? Maybe 100, right? Maybe 100.
It's like in Wales, in my hometown Murphy-Tydvil. Today, the local hospital said, "Okay, we got bloody a testing centre." But what they didn't say is that we got a testing centre. If if you feel you got fucking coronavirus fucking symptoms, come. So you got anyone fucking just go in there, just think, that is the scare tactic. That's a result of a scare tactic in which governments have done.
Yeah, it was just got everyone scared, and it makes it a lot more worse than what it should be, and that's where we are. But the thing is, you look at it from a scientific point of view. It's not getting worse. It's getting better, and
that is why the scientists of all over the world are pulling away from governments now.
Yes,
because they don't want to be fucking associated with what fucking.
But what we are is we're beyond the point of no return now. They can't do more lockdowns because business won't be able to handle it.
No, exactly.
Many countries can't handle it now. We've gone beyond the point of no return. So now we just have to take it, and they'll have to maybe introduce some kind of localized quarantine or something like that. But businesses, they can't close down businesses anymore. They just can't. I was just going to say football. This is why football's going to continue, because football can't handle it either. Football has been so many clubs have been close to breaking point. They just can't. They can't. Valencia are gone. Valencia are going. They're in liquidation. So and they're saying now they also want they need the fans to start coming back to start creating a revenue. So that's what we're going to start to see. We're going to start seeing. Stage by stage, they're going to start reintroducing fans. First, it's just going to be a few thousand. Then it's going to be more, and then we're eventually going to get back to some kind of normality when the vaccine's here. But they're going to have to start reintroducing fans because the clubs aren't making money, and not all many clubs aren't in the position where they have rich owners who can just put money in. They just don't,
Macclesfield went today, so I don't know if you know, but Macclesfield Town went bust today. They don't know whether they went actual bust or went into administration. But
the shocking figure is, I'll tell you, the shocking figure that came out just before lockdown, the first lockdown we had in the Premier League, when they shut it down. This came from Sky Sports and also it was reported a few other places as well. But the numbers actually show, out of the 92 Football Association linked clubs in the Football League Association, the 92 clubs, there's only 18 that are solvent. I mean, technically solvent. That means that they actually make money. There's only 18 clubs out of 92 that make money.
Well,
Think about that, and that's before. That's before. So that's 18 clubs that are making money, profit, and that's before you take away all the revenue and you have the shutdown. So imagine how much this has affected many clubs.
Well, Cardiff's chairman was done a podcast, I don't know, a month ago, and he came out and said that the club was losing 2 million a week. Because of COVID, losing 2 million a week. And I fucking hate Vincent Tan. Everyone knows my fucking, hate is a real bad word. But what he done to me as a Cardiff City fan is unforgivable. But what I will be grateful for him is that he's putting the money in to support.
Keep Cardiff alive. He's keeping Cardiff alive, right?
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah. So without his money, Cardiff would probably be folding, right? To be honest.
Yeah, absolutely gone.
Yeah. So this is the situation we're in, and I just don't think we're not gonna make that any worse. We're gonna just go now towards reintroducing fans and try and get back to normality. And we're close to a vaccine. We're gonna have a vaccine within the next few months. Yeah. And then when the vaccine starts to come out and get distributed, that's when things are going to start going back to normality again, right? So, yeah.
The thing about Valencia, Sam, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's owned by Peter Lim, and he's made an absolute fucking arseache of that club ever since.
Yeah, of course. Over. So many clubs are poorly run.
Manager and shit like that,
So many clubs are so poorly run. That's what comes out in all these financial reports. The clubs, they just don't know. They don't know how to run run their clubs properly. All the money goes on the salaries, unfortunately, on the wages.
A lot of money goes on agent fees these days.
And then, that's part of the salaries and the expenditure, salaries and all of that. And transfers, agents' fees and salaries. That's where all the money goes, and they can't generate enough to pay for it.
Well, on about that, I don't know if you guys watch West Ham fan TV or I'm interested. I take YouTube channels. All teams, it's interesting to get ideas and information. And it's one called Cloud and Blue or something. They got an issue, or you guys know, West Ham fans got an issue with the ownership there. And one guy come on, it wasn't West Ham fan TV, but it was a West Ham fan channel. And one guy come on who has always been accused of being a spokesperson for the board. And he come on and they went through the facts of the last financial information in which West Ham give Company's House. Because the claims have always been, you fucking taken money out, which they have. It says within Company House documents. But it also says that the claim of they were going to move to the Olympic Stadium and it would bring in so much money that they were going to bloody challenge for European places every single season. At the moment in time, they've moved to the Olympic Stadium, which has meant they're only renting the stadium and not owning it now. So they've lost that massive asset. It's London property or London land we're talking about. At this moment in time, they're only making 20 million more per season. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. And that is with double the amount of fans attending.
I'll tell you another interesting statistic as well, and this is one that's been on the cards for a while now, and there's a lot of talk about it, but this is where we're going to have to start figuring out how to bring in regulations and limitations, because the way we're going, the wages, the salaries are increasing exponentially, and we're getting to a point where clubs no longer can fund. You can't fund them, you can't pay for them. So there has to be some kind. You have to give. Somewhere you have to give. Somewhere there has to be a regulation or a limitation that says, listen, you can't pay a player more than this or whatever. We're going to have to bring that in, or else clubs just can't handle it.
They put it in place, League One and League Two. They've got a salary cap, which now
they have to.
Yeah, they've started it this season.
Yeah, because they've got no budget, right? They've got no budget, so they would have to. It makes sense for them to do it, but. Look at the Premier League. I mean, it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand already, and soon, within a few seasons, it's going to be completely out of hand. Clubs are just going to, it's just they don't know where they're going to get the money from, right? You have to start increasing ticket prices a lot more, and season ticket prices a lot more. The merchandise prices have to go up a lot more. It's the fans that end up hurting.
Do you think as a result of that, which I fully agree, Sam, the wages are killing clubs, absolutely killing clubs. But just 2 points. Which the Sky deal with the Premier League has come to an end. Now we're looking at the likes of Amazon and Amazon Prime and everyone else coming into the market, which then push the price up of TV money coming, more TV money coming into the clubs.
Yeah.
Are they looking at that and just thinking of future planning, future financial planning? And also, if you don't mind, were the boardrooms of Premier League clubs actually backing Brexit because it would save them in the long term of bringing in non-UK players, and can you see what I'm getting at? And because the future rule is going to be, you have to play a certain amount of games for your country, and that is why, like Man City, Man United, they're all getting clubs they're all purchasing clubs within the EU now to use them as a stepping stone until they qualify to be able. To
there used to be that foreign rule, didn't there?
Yeah,
you could only have a certain amount. There used to be you could only have a certain amount of foreigners in your squad, and all that. All that got scrapped with the free. I mean, well, the thing is, I don't think. Listen, I don't think the Brexit's going to affect any of that because I think the UK is going to still be part of many of the European agreements. One of them being freedom of movement and all of that. And when it comes to it's going freedom of movement, I don't mean free movement as it has been, but the whole visa process of who can it's going to be easy travel, easy in and out. They're not going to try and make things more difficult when it comes to people traveling around. And that's going to same is going to be for players. If people want to come and work in the UK, as long as you're within the European Union, it's going to be easier for them than for people outside the European Union. It's going to, a lot of the same things I think are going to remain in place, maybe with a bit more documentation involved, a bit more red tape, but they're still going to have the same things in place because it's been working. So I don't think we're going to see that much effect. But what I do think we will see is someday we're going to have to see some kind of limitation brought into place. But that would have to be universal. It would have to be universal. It would have to come from UEFA, and it would have to be for all the top divisions to do the same, to have a limitation the same, whether that be a set salary cap of whatever, or they set it on a percentage of their income.
Do you want a can, lads? Do you want a can?
Fucking, you're drinking like a fucking fish, you are, honestly. Jeez, I've never seen someone drink as much as you.
You didn't have a fucking night with your parents like I did last night.
So what I'm saying is how they implement that limitation, whether they set like a set salary cap, like, for example, you can't pay a player more than £200,000, or whether they do that or they limit it on the percent of your club's revenue, what's being spent on salary. You can't spend, for example, more than 50%. Because at the moment, there's clubs spending 60, 70 and up to 80% of their revenue. 88%. 88%. Yeah, Bournemouth was 88% of their revenue was going on wages. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. That means out of every £100 they were
£88
earning, £88 went to the players.
I think.
But if I can come back on that, sorry. Listen, my fucking experience with fucking dealing with fucking idiot players and idiot fucking agents. But I'll tell you something. I know you can get around wage fucking limits for top players. You can get around it with saying, okay, no problem. We'll pay you, for example, the maximum would be 50 grand, say, right? We'll pay you 50 grand, but if you come to us, we'll also give you a fucking property, survey and everywhere. So as in cash terms, they fucking paying a maximum, but in asset terms, they could be fucking doing it times 10.
That's already the problem now, isn't it? All those hidden costs and everything. All the hidden. They're already paying families. You see, that's what's been happening. That's what came in football in the WikiLeaks. Remember the football WikiLeaks? How much hidden perks there were. Like families being given houses and cars and that. And it's like it's like, okay. We'll come to you, but how I want a house for my parents. I want a new car for my parents. I want a new car for my brothers, each of them. I've got 3 brothers. Each of them want a new car. And the clubs do it. The clubs will pay for it.
The clubs are doing it. The clubs are doing it for teenagers.
What do you say it is?
The Neymar deal. I want hotels.
I mean. Exactly.
The clubs are doing it already for schoolboys.
You saw it in the documentary. Now, the Tottenham documentary. That's very good, by the way. All or Nothing. You saw it in the episode when what's it?
Harry Winks?
No, when they bought,
I haven't watched it yet.
Was it Bergwijn when they bought him, or was it someone else? I can't remember which one of the players they bought.
Ndombele. Could be Ndombele.
It was one of the players they bought anyway, and they have their own property. Tottenham Hotspur, they have their own property that they loan to the that they own, Tottenham own, and they loan it to the players while they're there. Beautiful, properties, their apartments, their houses, they've got all different things. And basically, there was their talk. They showed him walking around looking at a flat, and he said, "Oh yeah, and by the way, you got to remember, I want one of this one's going to be." He said, "This one's going to be for my parents, and I'm going to have another one next door." So I mean, they're setting up the whole family in these big apartments and everything, and it's all part of the deal, isn't it? It's all part of the cost.
Yeah. So and the thing is, the club can direct those payments to a third party to get away from it. Get away. That third party could be a company set up by the bloody player's fucking father, which is normally his agent. You know what I mean? And you can easily get around that. But the salary cap is definitely coming this season into League One, League Two, which has fucked Sunderland up again, because half of Sunderland's fucking contracted players were either from the Premier League when they were there, or in the Championship.
I saw in that documentary as well.
I think it's like $2.5 grand per player is the salary cap for League One.
Well, you saw that in the Sunderland, because there's another great documentary with Sunderland. Yeah. Sunderland Till I Die, when they get relegated and everything, when they're supposed to stay up and they get relegated, and they got that fucking Rodwell from, was it Everton? They got him from, and they were paying him £80,000 a week in League One. In League One.
And I'll quickly,
because that was his contract.
Hey, but Sam, you know the Peter Thorne fucking contract. read out Cheddar's comment. Cheddar's comment. That's a fantastic story. That is.
Quickly going through the comments. Big up Ezekiel. Big up Cheddar's as well. I'll just quickly go through his other comments as well. As long as he's saying we see the best players in the Premier League, I don't mind it. And the other ones are visa process. He was talking about that while we were going on, especially the criteria is based on earnings. It might be harder to get a cheap young player and maybe interesting to see. And the last one, he's saying, have you heard of the footballer who wanted a house built every year in his contract? The club found a loophole and built him a Lego house.
Lad, I got a bad comeback. Can I come in, leave and come back? I got a bad...
Sure.
Yeah. We're used to it now, mate, with you. We're used to it. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so a lot of talk going on about the fact that maybe we may have that cap, but I think the only reason they don't want to do it is because a lot of fans watch the Premier League, because there are a lot of different set of players from different countries. You remember why we bought George Lewis in the first place, right? So exactly.
For Rwanda. But listen, I told you, if there's going to be a salary cap, it has to come from UEFA. It has to come from UEFA, and it has to be for all the leagues, all the top leagues. It has to be the same for everyone, because or else the country that has a salary cap is going to lose all its players, isn't it? Of course, so that's just. And
do you think if UEFA is putting such caps, or if the Brexit happens eventually, do you think some of the owners, that like the American owners, or like you can give the example of Roman Abramovich, he literally almost sold Chelsea to another buyer because he wasn't let into the UK for some reason. If you remember, there was an incident. So he got pissed, and there were stories going around that he may sell Chelsea. Do you think if Brexit comes in and some of these other norms are implemented, some of these owners may be like pushed out of the UK? Some of the American owners or Russian owners?
I don't think so, because they're rich business owners. I don't think that really affects them, to be honest. I think they think it'll help them, because it'll help them control costs, right? I mean, one thing as a business is you want to try and control costs, and that's one of the costs that's spiraling out of control is your salaries, right? I mean, going up and up and up and up, and I think that's what the owners of the clubs want to avoid. So having a salary cap, I think, is going to be good for them to keep control of the cost, and I don't think they're going to be forced out. Abramovich was a lot more political as well, was it? I think there was something to do with Russia as well, political or something like that, that the English didn't like, and they basically punished him some way. They didn't let him in the country. I think there was something to do with he wasn't meeting the requirements of his visa or whatever, something like that. They managed to do him with, and he couldn't come into the UK for 5 years or something. I can't remember. It was something like that.
Yeah, but with Brexit coming in, that could be the case more often, right? That is what I was saying. I mean, with respect to the Arab owners, they will probably sanitize their hands with their own hands, like literally. They will even maybe suck their cocks if they want.
Money talks. Money always talks. And those Arabs who have money to burn, they've got so much money they don't know what to do with it. They're going to come in. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. They're going to come in. They'll buy up another club or two. And that's the way it's going to be, right? Because I think they found out it's a nice way of, maybe they use it to whitewash some money. I don't know. Maybe they use it for asset dilution. I think there's different ways they use these clubs to do certain, certain things with their money that they can't do otherwise, and it's easy. They can do it through the club, and also for them, it's also a bit of a toy as well, I suppose. The guys who have that much money, it's a bit of a toy. It's fun to have a club, isn't it? For the people who are really, really rich, it's not going to affect them, is it? Because they're the reason. I mean, they're the reason all these. I mean, they bend themselves backwards, don't they? Governments and companies and authorities. They all want the billionaires and the rich people on their side, and to help them, don't they? So. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much problem.
Just one last question, and probably Brownie can come in as well, because that sounded. I've heard about scrambled eggs, but that sounded like scrambled nuts. What his feed was giving out. But yes, just want to ask you one question. I think I know Cheddar's answers to this. Cheddar has given his answer to this. Do you think if they start letting the fans into the stadium, will you be going anytime soon?
Well, I'm in Norway, right? So.
No, I mean to say local football. Would you take the risk?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they did it. I mean, if they took precautions to start off with, like they're saying they're only going to have a few thousand first with the distance between the fans and everything. Yeah. Listen, I would do that. I wouldn't mind doing that, and then eventually, we can have more and more and more and get back to normal. I'm not scared of it, to be honest. But I do understand, and this is the one thing I think a lot of people don't understand, is you can be asymptomatic. And you don't know if you are, right? Because if you're not feeling any symptoms, you're not taking any tests, you don't know if you actually have the virus. You really don't know. You could have it, and you don't know you have it. That's the problem. And then if you spread that then to someone who really shouldn't have it, someone who is elderly or has some kind of pre-existing condition, that is where the whole problem is. You're actually spreading a deadly virus without knowing it. That is the one issue for me that makes this virus very different and very dangerous, that the people aren't really thinking about that part of it, even though the chances are very small. Of course they are very, very small that you are asymptomatic, one of those people who are carrying it without knowing it. But you don't know, right? It's like the lottery. You don't know. It could be you. So instead of what I think is a bit, what I don't really like, instead of being selfish and then going around, doing what you want, basically thinking it's not me, I don't really care. If everyone just sort of bottled down, not now. Now I know we've gone too far. It's taken too long. Everything's all messed up. Listen, I know everything's all beyond repair now. Basically, it's all fucked up. But if we were to straight from the beginning, straight from the start, as soon as we saw numbers increasing right at the beginning, if we'd have just put on a mandatory curfew and straight lockdown on everything, locked everything down at the highest level, the most strict level for 1 month. No one can go out and do anything unless you're doing the absolute most necessary thing. Strict social distancing, strictly adhered to by the police. You actually got police out, and maybe even bringing in maybe like the reserves, the territorial army, the reserves. To make sure, I know it sounds brutal, but just to make sure people are following the rules for 1 month. If they've done this for 1 month at the beginning, locked everything down, stopped everything, Nothing for 1 month. You work at home, those who can work at home, or else you're not going to work. You're getting paid. There should have been a government fund. Well, I know they eventually did, but they should have had a government fund to pay people who can't work, so they get compensated. But if you can work, you're working from home, and everyone's staying at home. No one's going out doing it. Everything's shut down apart from the most necessary services. Do that for 1 month, and it's finished. You got no problem. It's done. It's done. But because you couldn't do that, and things were done in stages and this and that, backwards and forwards, up and down, people didn't know what to do. It was all mishandled. They weren't prepared. You know, it was completely mishandled and mistreated by the government. They weren't really taking it seriously. Then they were, and then they weren't. You know, it's that, you know, that's why we're in the state we're in now. And people are, you know, are even, you know, they're even more scared now than before because, you know, as I said, the media are making a meal out of it as well. Every time there's a new case, it's like, oh my god, it's a new case, even though it's not. It's most likely not dangerous because now it's the flu. The COVID virus is even weaker than it was before. And as I said, hardly anyone's going to hospital with it anymore. So now it's far less dangerous. But I'm talking back at the beginning now when it was dangerous. You know, if we'd have just locked it down, that, you know, straight away, just for 1 month, just locked it down for 1 month. And then finish after 1 month, we would have got rid of it. We would have finished with it. And then after that 1 month, yeah, you have a hard time, a tough time for 1 month. But you do that for the collective good, right? You do that so everyone can get past it. You're not killing, you know, tens of thousands of people that don't need to die. You know, it's for the collective good. And you could have just done that for 1 month and finished. But now we got what we got and all this backwards and forwards. Shall we do this? Shall we not do this? Everyone's confused, etc. And people just don't care anymore, right? And that's the problem. You've got people now who just don't care, who are going around spreading this to people who shouldn't, who shouldn't be getting it. You know, that's the problem. But anyway, it is what it is now. I think we're past the worst of it, and it will eventually go away because we're going to get a vaccine not long off anyway. And you know, as I said, the rates now of hospitalization are so low. You know, it's nowhere near as dangerous as it used to be. So, but that's not what the media will tell you, because the media wants you to be scared, so they can get you to click around and look at things and go look at all the articles about this and why you should be scared and what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing, and basically making everyone, you know, be fearful. So they go out and buy things they don't really need to buy and everything like that. So yeah, the media's a complete mess with it all, but. Yeah, I see Chet is saying, Sam, you're asking the state to fuck you. I mean, I know you're very much against the government. You're very much against government control, and you know, I can understand that. Some people don't like that. That's your prerogative to think that way. I happen to think that, you know, if it was up to us people to control everything, if you're talking anarchy. If you're talking anarchy, you know, you want a state that's run by the people. Well, then it's not a state, is it? You anything but other people. What would you get out of it? You get nothing. You get a mess because people are egotistical, self-driven. You just have mass chaos. That's what you would have. So, of course, the government has to take control in some form or manner. But if they, like I said, if they'd have been prepared, if they had a plan. You know, this is how you should effectively do things. They were prepared. They had the equipment. They had the PPE. They had things in stockpile. They had funds, you know, emergency funds ready to pay to people. If all of this was actually done properly and planned properly, which they should have done, because I mean, the pandemics come. We should have all this the World Health Organization has warned of mass pandemics for years. They've warned governments and countries for years. Listen, we're getting pandemics every few years. Some of them are small, some of them are larger. But listen, we're going to have a mass pandemic soon. I remember Obama warned about it back in, was it like 2014 or 13? And here we are. You know, here we are with it. So governments should have been aware of this problem and done a job preparing for it. And they haven't, and that's why we are in this mess, because we're not prepared, haven't had the equipment, you know, things in place, and this is why we're in the complete mess we are. Then you get everyone prioritizing what they can, and you know, then it's all of a sudden the companies then with money who buy things and take control, and they want to make profits, and then it all becomes a profit chase, and it just becomes a huge mess, right? And things just don't get done properly because the government's not taking control. If you let companies run things, people aren't going to get anything because they're just going to sell to the highest bidder. If that's why I'm saying things should have been government controlled from the start to make sure everyone gets what they're supposed to do and things get controlled properly. But it's just been all messed up. That's what it is. It's been all completely messed up, and that's why we're in the sad situation we are now.
But many of the governments didn't take it seriously. Maybe a company.
Yeah, of course they didn't take it seriously. They didn't. No, of course not.
But yeah, if big up to Chadwick and Cheddars in the chat. Chadwick is also saying it's politically driven. But yes, I think in America it's more politically driven, but not all over the world. Maybe to an extent in the UK, but other places it's more like they can't do anything about it. Then they failed to deal with it. But yeah, one thing I'll say that if anyone goes back and listens to Sam talking for 5 minutes, they'll probably say at the end of it, Sam Greenwood for president. So
yeah. Oh my god.
So I think Brownie has dropped off his internet. Maybe he lost all his data again, or his marbles, whichever he lost.
I think he lost his marbles. Definitely lost his marbles.
Yeah, with the way that he was having beer, I think hopefully he's fine.
He was drinking like one can every 5 minutes. I've never seen anything like it.
Yep, I think he's celebrating the fact that his parents are not with him today. So that calls for a celebration, and obviously Bale is back to Spurs. That is the update that we got. And before we wrap it up, we've already gone for 1 hour 20 minutes. I said it before. If you have Adam in the panel, you can go on for hours and hours. You won't know the difference. You won't figure out whether it's been 1 hour, 10 hours, 5 hours. They're all the same, because he'll keep driving you on, or he'll keep taking those digs and taking those puns at you that get you to speak more and more, and then you get into more detailing. But Sam, before we wrap it up, where can people find you and what's going to happen on the channel now?
Yeah, so I have this channel called Sam Greenwood TV. I don't really do much with it at the moment. It's tough to find time between work and what's going on all these other channels. But yeah, I'm planning to have at least one day a week. I'm going to have a late night chat. Light-hearted, bit of banter, bit of a laugh, mainly about Arsenal, what's been going on, for that week or that period of time. It can be outside of Arsenal as well, just football in general, or maybe even other things. So if we feel like talking about other things outside of football, we can do that too. We'll see where the conversation takes us. Try and do that once a week. And apart from that, try to do a quiz now and again. I was going to try and do a quiz tonight, but unfortunately there weren't many people available to take part in that. We'll try and do it another day. And it's just things like that really on my channel, because everyone else is doing previews and reviews and watch-alongs, and I take part in them on these other guys' his channel, like with Atish on his channels when he's doing them, or I'm with Ryan on the Mr. Arsenal podcast, or with Simpy on Simpy 141, or with Daniel the Blind Gooner. I'm around all these guys' channels. I'm like the village whore really. I just go around and go around and do everything. So but anyway, Sam Greenwood TV. Please go and check it out. Subscribe. It would be really helpful. I've got 71 subs now, so I'm getting really, really big. But yeah, if you get me up to 100, it'll be great. I'll be really grateful for that. And apart from that, I'm on these other guys' channels, I say, and I had a good time again tonight. And soon, I think we're coming up now. We've got the match coming up soon and everything. So I'm not going to be part of that, I don't think. But I'm going to see if I can do the beginning next week. See if I can do like a late night chat about the weekend's football and everything, and Arsenal. We'll try and make something out of it, which all of you can take part in, of course. And big up everyone in the chat, all the regulars. Nice to see you guys, and thanks for having me. It's been good fun.
And yeah, I just wanted to say, push him to 100 subs before he actually turns 100. Do it.
Yeah.
And just a comment coming from Chadwick: in India, lower class, it's all about survival in regards to just being able to eat. How is the Indian government handling that? They tried to handle it, then it was politicized, as it always happens, because here politics is not as America, where you can abuse the president and prime minister and get away with it and throw stuff at them at will. here it happens, but then political parties and politicians have a lot more power. So they were going at it for a long time, and eventually you can see the numbers are now going up for whatever reason, because of the politics or whatever other reasons. And the state governments and the central government is different. Like in some of the states it's the same party, but in some of the other states it's different. So it's a mismatch in many ways. So
My
probably
favorite,
yeah.
my favorite are those countries that have just decided we're not going to do we're not going to report any figures. We're just not going to bother. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, that sounds like you got it under control.
I think the Chinese took heed from that, because they weren't reporting all the right things. And anyways, we'll leave that for another session. We'll definitely have one on India as well in detail. Probably I'll get in a few more of my friends as well to talk about it, what they are going through, and from different states of the country. But yes, I just want to say at the end of the show, big up to all the people in the chat and everyone on the panel. Adam drops off as usual. He always falls short. But one last thing, just want to add with respect to the global situation, spread pussy, not virus. So thank you guys for tuning in, and
Come
big
back
up to
that
all
one.
of you. And we will definitely see more of you tomorrow as well, and in the upcoming days. Bye, guys. Be home, be safe, and take care, and keep smiling.